Even though the calendar says we are creeping into autumn, summer isn't quite finished with us yet. Where I live, September can be the hottest month of the year, and it certainly seems to be shaping up that way once again. Part of leaning into what we call slow living means accepting the present moment for what it is. We don't try to speed up the seasons before the season is actually here. Even though I much prefer cooler temperatures, being rooted in seasonal slow living gives me a deep appreciation and gratitude for the way things actually are, not the way I wish they could be. It wasn't always this way for me. I've spent many, many years learning to slow down little by little. Slow living wasn't something I just decided to embrace one day, made the transition, and was done. Seasonal slow living naturally lends itself to gradual adoption, and that can be a challenge sometimes. When I compare myself to others I see who also choose this lifestyle, those voices of not enoughness can begin to creep in. I don't live on a farm. I don't hand sew all of my children's clothes. I drive a minivan. But comparison robs us of so much, and thinking that we have to get it perfectly right the first time robs us of even more. For me, the very process of taking slower and more intentional steps has been, well, slow. This is the season of life I am in, and I embrace that, just as it is. Seasonal slow living also gives us many chores and projects and tasks that would seem out of place in a different time of year. We could resist them, put them off for later, or just not get to them at all. But what do we gain from that? What do we lose? What opportunities to learn and teach our children? And hidden within this tenet of slow living is a kernel of seemingly contradictory wisdom. If we are indeed able to move more slowly through our days, then it stands to reason that we will not get to some of the things we would like to get to, or do some of the things we feel we should. If you move at a slower pace, it is natural that you will accomplish less than someone moving at a faster rate. So we need to get comfortable with accepting that trade-off in productivity for a life that fills us up with peace and calm and joy. The other concern we have to let go of is caring so much about what other people think about us and our choices. Depending on your personality, this can be relatively simple or exceedingly difficult. Guess which category I fall into. Because slow living is so incredibly countercultural, many people will not understand your desire to do less, your desire to have less, your desire for your family and home life to look different than other families. Becoming comfortable with other people's disapproval or misunderstanding is essential to feeling free in your choices. I used to care very much about what other people thought about me. I felt the need to shade myself, alter my personality in small ways, depending on who I was with. I felt the need to explain my choices in a flurry of well-chosen words, supported by statistics and research and articles. I'm sure I've sounded both preachy and unsure on many occasions. But as I've leaned more and more into slow living, I have found the spaciousness to fully examine why I feel compelled to care so much about others' opinions. In one way, it is an evolutionary survival tactic. Making sure that we were accepted by our community was necessary for our individual survival, back in our ancestral hunter-gatherer days. We are biologically compelled to care about how we fit in and belong with our tribe or clan. Learning about this helps me hold less judgment for myself when I do find that I am wondering so much about what others are thinking about me. It helps me have a little self-compassion, which goes a long way to releasing those thoughts. I am very much a work in progress. The path towards self-acceptance, towards being okay with not having a life that is capital P productive and not caring what others may think of that, can be a hard and stony path. But it is also so very rich and beautiful. Our homes can be places of calm and love. Our children can be safe to explore who they truly are. Our community can be built with intention and deep support. Our minds can feel clear. Slow living isn't always easy. Embracing the season of life we are in might be met with some internal resistance. Slow living isn't nearly as accessible to wide swaths of the population when it should be everyone's right. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But the rewards when we prioritize seasonality and slowness are so incredibly bountiful. And as I sit back in the golden light of shifting seasons, as I smell the sea and feel the sand, I dream of ways for all of us to know this peace deep within our hearts.